Do you want to trade NAS and US30 like a pro? Well, I'm going to show you one simple trick that's going to change your way of trading NAS and US30 instantly. Now, as you can see, I've got my NAS100 chart open and I'm on the 1 hour chart currently. Now I'm going to do one very quick thing and you're going to wonder why I'm plotting it like this. I'm taking a fib tool, I'm just going to draw it from bottom to top, and I'm going to set it to 12,000, in this case 12,000, and then this case 13,000. Now the reason I've done that is because I plotted a nice range, and with NAS and US30 I always go for this size of range, and we're going to scalp NAS really efficiently using this. So we can see already on the 1 hour that we're very easily picking up a lot of these wicks just onto the edges of our lines, and it's being really good as support and resistance. Now we're going to drop down time frames all the way down to about the 5 minute, where we can look, and you're starting to see this is where it really becomes magical. As it's pushing up and through, you've made your break and you get your retest, and it is bang on that line. Again, you're coming all the way up, and it's starting, in this case, you can see that we are finding a fair amount of, that's the wrong tool. You can see that we're finding a fair amount of resistance up and through here. And you've sent one wick right up to the top, onto the line, and that is almost perfect. This is probably the biggest change that you will see to your NAS and US30 trading, is from using this method. Now again, we can use, as always I'm going to show you that we can use indicators to go with this. So if I just open up the same method that I've been showing off in the last video, we can see that you're getting buys all the way through here. And the way you can look at it is that when you've broken through, you can almost ignore this buy exclusively because you know that you're expecting a retest. And then as soon as you're getting towards those retest points, you can set your trigger for entry right around that line and take your buy, in this case, from the perfect position. And if you were to do that in this case, you would have hit, and you would probably have not even seen 1 or 2 pips of drawdown. You would have been straight towards the good side. Again, we can see all the way through here, you were breaking and retesting. In this case, you had a sell that ran right into it and it came up and through. It did retest, but you didn't get a new entry signal. However, just here, you got another entry signal. So that was a good one to run all the way down to the next point. That is the simplest way to get something from nothing from NAS and US30. And again, I'll show you on US30. I'm just going to turn the indicators off very quickly. Now US30, with where it sits at the moment price-wise, we will draw it 2 of them. So we're going to draw it from, and I'm going to jump back up to the 1 hour. And there's a reason for this. We're going to draw from 32 to 33. Again, from bottom to top as always. So 33. And you can see that lots of the most recent price action has been just above that. So to compensate for that, we're also going to draw one like this, and we're also going to go from 33 to 34. And again, the reason is just simply because we're breaking up and down quite consistently, so it makes sense to do so. We can then jump right in, and we can see that it came up, it found some good resistance, and then we had one wick and off it goes. So you would have been able to see that we're having some hefty resistance as we're underneath the line. And as it comes up, you could have almost already had your trigger entries ready for those shorts, and you would have had a maximal of around 9 pips of drawdown. And that's 9 pips of drawdown, and yet you would already be looking over 100 pips in profit. So you can see that there's really a fair amount of efficiency in this. Again, if you're looking for a solid buy maneuver, you can see that you broke up and through and you're just looking for that retest. You would have been able to get a retest in somewhere around here, and you would have been able to run it all the way up, almost to the top, where you're looking at almost 200 pips of profit. And we can confirm this with indicators just to get your nice clean signal where you've got that nice buy and you can run it all the way through. And again, we can use the other end where we can look at sells with retests to bring it all the way back down. And again, you're seeing other buys. This one's really nice, which is coming right from the very base of that line. It ran all the way up and even went for 2 solid lines worth. So you could have been, in theory, not just 240 pips from there, but you could potentially have looked at going all the way through on the idea of another break and retest up towards 450 pips over 4 hours. This is something that should really change your view on how you can trade US30 and NAS. It's an insanely accurate way of finding those key levels that banks and institutions love finding, and this has been a 5-minute video which should change your life.